Introduction. Turning 60 is a milestone. For many women, it's a time of reflection. Children are grown. Careers may be winding down or already retired. There's finally time to slow down. But instead of feeling peace, some women feel resentment, especially toward their husbands. They feel alone, unheard, or emotionally distant. This emotional space, this slow and quiet divide, is what we're calling a silent drift. In this script, we'll explore the reasons behind this emotional distance, how it grows over time, and most importantly, what couples can do to reconnect and rebuild emotional intimacy. Chapter 1. The Life Shift After 60. At 60, life changes. The roles that once defined a woman, mother, worker, caretaker, begin to shift. For some, there's relief. For others, there's loss. With the house quieter and routines change, many women start to look inward. They ask, "What about me?" Their needs and desires, once buried under years of responsibilities, come to the surface. And often, they notice that their partner is not evolving with them. This can feel isolating. Chapter 2. Emotional neglect over time. Many women don't wake up resenting their husbands one day. It happens slowly, over years. A missed hug here, a forgotten birthday there, not asking how she feels, not listening. These little things add up. What may seem small in the moment builds into something big. A woman begins to feel invisible or unimportant. She may start to believe her husband has stopped caring. Even if he's still around physically, emotionally, he might feel absent. This isn't always about cruelty or bad intentions. Often, husbands don't realize what they're missing. But for wives, it's deeply felt. Chapter 3. Unspoken expectations and disappointment. Many women grow up with ideas about marriage, that love means deep conversation, constant support, romance. When those things fade, disappointment sets in. They may not say out loud. They may even tell themselves it's fine. But inside they grieve. They wanted a partner who notices when they're down, someone to talk about dreams with, someone who values their opinion. Instead, they might feel like roommates. The TV is always on. Conversations are shallow. She's changed, but he hasn't noticed. Or worse, he doesn't care. Chapter 4. Physical and emotional distance. With age, physical intimacy can also decline. Hormones shift, bodies age. But emotional intimacy often fades first. And when that emotional closeness is gone, physical touch can feel forced or even unwelcome. Some women pull away. Others stay quiet and accept it. But deep down, it hurts. It confirms a feeling of being unwanted. Men may struggle too. They might feel rejected, not knowing how to bridge the gap. So they retreat. The distance grows, and both sides suffer. Chapter 5. Communication breakdown. Many couples stop truly talking. They speak about errands, bills, the grandkids, but they stop talking about feelings, about fears, about dreams. Without real communication, misunderstandings grow, resentments deepen, silence replaces connection. And with each unspoken word, the silent drift continues. Some women feel, "Why bother? He won't understand." And so they stop trying. Chapter 6. Feeling taken for granted. After decades of managing the household, raising kids, and caring for others, many women over 60 feel unappreciated. They've done so much. But now, they want to be seen, not for what they do, but for who they are. When husbands fail to notice the effort, or when they act as if nothing has changed, resentment takes root. It feels like all those years of sacrifice meant little. She wants gratitude, not gifts or grand gestures, just genuine thanks and recognition. Chapter 7: Rediscovering Self-Worth. The resentment often hides something deeper, a need to feel valuable, loved, seen. Some women begin new hobbies, join groups, or travel. These aren't just distractions. They're ways to reconnect with themselves. But ideally, this journey of rediscovery would include their partner. They want to share, not just exist side by side. Husbands who support their wives in rediscovering themselves often see the relationship grow stronger. Those who ignore or resist it widen the gap. Chapter 8: How Husbands Can Reconnect. The good news is it's never too late. Small actions matter. Here's what husbands can do. Listen more, not just to fix problems, but to truly hear. Ask questions. Be curious. Ask how she feels, what she dreams about now. Express appreciation. Say thank you for the little things. Be present. Turn off the TV. Put down the phone. Make eye contact. Relearn touch. A hug. Holding hands. Gentle, loving gestures. Share your feelings. Vulnerability builds closeness. Change doesn't need to be dramatic. It needs to be consistent. Chapter 9: When Counseling Helps. Sometimes, couples need help finding their way back to each other. There's no shame in seeking therapy. In fact, it shows strength. A counselor helps both partners speak openly, understand each other better, and rebuild trust. Even just a few sessions can make a big difference. Many couples say they wish they'd gone sooner. Chapter 10: Building a New Chapter Together. Just because you've been married for decades doesn't mean you can't start fresh. In fact, now may be the perfect time. Without children at home or the stress of work, couples can rediscover each other, travel, talk, learn something new together. It takes effort, but it's worth it. The goal isn't to go back to the way things were. It's to create something new based on who you both are today. Chapter 11: What Wives Want But Often Don't Say. Many women over 60 want more than just love. They want emotional safety. They want to feel heard without judgment. They want their partner to be someone they can share their thoughts and worries with, no matter how small or strange. They also want to be admired, not just for how they look, but for who they are, for the strength they've shown, for the life they've lived, for the wisdom they carry. They want laughter, shared memories. They want to feel special again, even in the smallest ways. A compliment, a gentle touch, a random act of kindness. Many times, women don't say these things because they don't want to appear needy, or because they've asked before and felt ignored. But that doesn't mean the needs go away. Chapter 12: A Look at Regret and Forgiveness. In long relationships, there are always regrets. Things said in anger, things left unsaid, years spent too busy or too distracted. It's important to face those regrets, not to dwell on them, but to heal. Both partners may need to apologize. Both may need to forgive, not because what happened wasn't hurtful, but because holding on only adds to the drift. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing connection over distance. It means letting go of past pain to make room for new joy. Chapter 13, Building Daily Rituals of Love. Big romantic gestures are nice, but it's the daily moments that build or break a relationship. A good morning kiss, a kind word at dinner, a shared walk. These rituals, when done with intention, remind couples that they still matter to each other. It may feel awkward at first, especially if distance has been there for years, but the effort shows care. Couples who create small daily habits of connection often find the spark returns, not overnight, but over time. Chapter 14, Letting Go of the Fantasy and Embracing the Real. Sometimes, resentment comes from comparing reality to an ideal version of love. Maybe the fantasy was shaped by movies or stories. Or maybe it was a younger version of the relationship that felt more passionate or adventurous. It's okay to let go of that fantasy. Real love at 60 and beyond is different. It may be quieter, but it can be deeper. It may lack drama, but it can have more peace. By accepting your partner as they are, not as you wish they were, you create space for growth, not settling, but choosing to see and love what's real. Chapter 15, Rewriting the Story Together. Every relationship is a story. And just like any story, it can have unexpected twists and new chapters. Even if the past included hurt, the future can be filled with healing. Couples who sit down and talk about what they want next, how they want to live, what they want to experience, how they want to treat each other, often discover a renewed sense of purpose. They stop drifting. They start dreaming again. Together. Chapter 16, When Independence Becomes Isolation. After decades of managing life, some women become highly independent. They've learned to handle everything, finances, family, health, on their own. This strength is admirable. But sometimes, independence can turn into emotional isolation. Many women stop leaning on their partners because they feel it's pointless. They may think, he won't get it, or he won't respond the way I need. Over time, this mindset leads to fewer shared decisions, fewer conversations, and less vulnerability. This can confuse husbands who may see their wives pulling away and assume they're just doing fine on their own. But under that surface of strength, many women are lonely. Rebuilding connection means allowing space for dependence in healthy ways. It's okay to ask for emotional support. It's okay to need comfort. And it's okay to teach your partner how to be there for you. Chapter 17, The Power of Reflecting Together. One of the most healing practices couples can do is reflect together. Sit down and talk about the life you've lived. The good times, the hard times, the lessons. Reflection brings gratitude. It helps couples remember why they chose each other in the first place. It softens bitterness by highlighting the journey you've shared. Try simple prompts. What was your happiest memory together? What are you most proud of as a couple? What do you want to experience in the next 10 years? These conversations can spark intimacy. They create understanding and bring couples back to a shared foundation. Chapter 18, Letting Go of Scorekeeping. One hidden cause of resentment is keeping score. Who gave more? Who sacrificed more? Who was right or wrong? This mindset creates distance. It makes love conditional. It turns a partnership into a competition. Letting go of scorekeeping is hard, especially if one person feels their efforts were never noticed. But healing starts when someone decides to lead with generosity, not to be taken advantage of, but to break the cycle. When both partners focus on giving instead of counting, Trust begins to grow again. The relationship feels lighter, freer. Chapter 19, Reintroducing Joy and Fun. Over time, couples can become focused on responsibilities and survival. Joy takes a back seat. Fun is replaced by routine. This adds to the silent drift. To reconnect, couples must reintroduce play. It doesn't have to be grand. It could be cooking together, dancing in the living room, telling old jokes, or trying a silly new hobby. Laughter is healing. It lowers tension. It reminds couples that life together can still be enjoyable. Fun doesn't mean being young. It means being alive and choosing to enjoy life together. Chapter 20, Creating a Relationship Legacy. As couples grow older, it helps to think about the legacy they're building, not just for children or grandchildren, but for themselves. What kind of relationship story do you want to leave behind? One of silent distance, or one of resilience, renewal, and love that deepen with time? Legacy isn't built in grand gestures. It's built in daily kindness, in forgiveness, in choosing to show up for each other, even after decades. When couples focus on the kind of love they want to be remembered for, their present begins to shift. Priorities change. Resentment fades. Conclusion extended. The silent drift isn't just about one partner pulling away. It's about years of missed moments, unspoken needs, and emotional distance. But within every drift is a potential to turn back, to reach out, to speak, to touch, to listen. Marriage after 60 is not an ending. It's a turning point. The chance to rewrite the rules, to soften old wounds, and to experience love in a deeper, more meaningful way. No matter how far the drift has gone, two people can find their way back. If both are willing to try, one honest conversation, one kind gesture, one shared laugh. That's all it takes to begin again. Because love doesn't fade with age. It evolves. And if nurtured, it can grow into something even more beautiful than before.